Hello everyone, second take, third take, whatever, hot flushes, and then I thought I'd pause the video, but I actually stopped. So I'm starting all over again. I'm now at 21 minutes past 12 on the 24th. This is the afternoon, on the 24th of March 2026. My previous video, welcome in. My name is Lowell. It's Lovey. Thank you for sharing your time and your energy with me by having the willingness to listen. And when I do this, I believe that when somebody listens, we are speaking to one another's souls, because this is a kind of a soul language in this physical possibility. In any case, let's not go into that rabbit hole again. Let's stick with the rabbit hole we are at now, which is the resurrection. Now, the Bible explains resurrection after a physical death pertaining to Jesus Christ. Now, listen here. I ain't want to be around for a zombie apocalypse, please. No. Do the movies a zombie thingy? I ain't want a zombie apocalypse in my real life. So from that rejection, I'm not saying it isn't a resurrection, but from the physical mindset, I said, this is a zombie thing. There are some denominations in the Christian sector that preaches, when you die, you're asleep and you will wake up, and I'm thinking of all these mummies walking around, all these skeletons and bones. I don't like horror movies. But in any case, and the Holy Scripture interprets it as a resurrection from the dead, you come alive again. I came to understand, but I resurrected too. I transcended an old mindset. So if I'm taking it spiritually and not physically, I've transcended a mindset and not adopted. I've embraced a new mindset, which means transcending means I died off the old one and I'm resurrecting into the new one by embracing it. So I'm resurrecting, spiritually resurrecting. I'm resurrecting a mindset which is there but has never been embraced. So I died off and I'm living in the new one. And that is when my rapture happened. Return of Christ in my spiritual life, in the way that Christ resurrected spiritually. We compare before crucifixion and after crucifixion. Compare death spiritually and death and living a certain way after the death, resurrecting. This is now Christ. What about me? Old way of doing things, new way of doing things. So the in-between is the rapture into the new. I figured that it wasn't rocket science. They just made me believe it was rocket science. It's not rocket science. We complicate everything. And getting to that stillness within brought me to this understanding. The visions I get in my meditation, the downloads I get in my understanding, is it wrong? I'm not hurting anybody. I'm feeling better and I'm treating everybody differently and better. And some I just don't allow because my mindset has changed. I've transcended from putting myself in the fire of everybody else to becoming in my own joy. So I went through the rapture to resurrect. So psychologically, my mindset has changed. Emotionally, my feelings are different. My responses are different. My reactions are different. I'm not doing things the way I did before, because I've transcended that mindset into this new mindset where it is not just all about me, but it has to serve me to be able to bring forth for us all to hold space for one another, regardless of where we are at our understanding. We hold space because the way I explain something and the way somebody else explains something will meet the person that needs to hear it at the right time, because the vibration is the same. I don't like to go into these technicalities, and I will always use the word, the level of understanding is the same. No better than mine. Mine is no better than yours, because I'm understanding something differently to what you understand it. And that's okay. The timelines are different. We are born in different timelines. We adapt in different timelines. My God, I came to this journey at the age of 56. And there are some that are on the journey that are 28 years old. And I'm learning from a 23-year-old. And what I'm learning from the 23-year-old, it gives me the ability to transcend, to come into the rapture, to resurrect. A 23-year-old. How can it be wrong? Because at that moment, I was at a certain level of understanding, and this 23-year-old was at a higher level of understanding. So how many times am I stopping my own resurrection because of the belief is you are younger than me, you can't teach me anything. I've walked more miles in my shoes than you have had a slice of bread. A mindset. The desire to want to understand and learn and feel good is to be open and to be able to understand what feeds me and what does not feed me. What puts me in a space of, am I doing it right? Must I do it this way? What will they think of me? How? Just gone 10 steps back again. So the openness and the willingness to hold space for everybody else around me is to understand I can accept, I can absorb, or I can deflect and reject. But I'm not telling you, no, that doesn't work for me. I hold space to know where you are at when you are in my company. And the moment you tell me, what do you think? Which means when you're asking me what am I thinking, it means you are open to have this spiritual conversation we are engaging in. But when you come to me and you are putting it on me and accept it or reject it, I don't care. Which means I don't have to answer you. I don't have to engage with you. Because it's not a spiritual conversation. It is a conversation of arrogance. I don't entertain arrogance. I've probably been guilty of it a lot of times, but yeah, I've learned the hard way, I guess, because that's why I can sit here and say, I hold space. I can recognize when you are draining me, because when you were in my company yesterday, I felt exhausted when you left. The body again. Understanding that the body is telling me that something energetically is not on the same understanding that I am. I don't have to engage, but I can hold space. I don't have to condemn. I don't have to applaud. I don't have to encourage. I don't have to change you. I just need to hold space for you and understand and recognize I've been that person. So I transcend that to resurrect into holding space. It's a new mindset. It is dualistic. You are giving me an energy. I am holding space for that energy because I can. And by me holding space is giving you an energy of I'm here, I can hold you for the few moments that you are here. But I can also not entertain it. There's a difference. I can still be in my energy and hold yours so that you don't drain me. I still do in this. Up till yesterday, I was exhausted because I allowed somebody in my energy where my compassion again slipped, and I allowed it. It put me in a space of irritation. And of course, when the person is gone, I have to go into prayer and meditation and to draw myself back, my fragments that I just let go of. I have to draw the fragments of my wisdom and my soul back again, and I have to work on it again and understand why my triggers are there. So even that is a rapture, resurrecting, to understand and see the me that is still getting triggered. Remember, I said in the last one, we are always learning, we are always evolving, and my nemesis is my compassion. Because I'm empathic, so I feel it, and my body feels it, and I'm still on this path of I can hold the space, but I don't have to absorb it. I get it right sometimes, but not all the time. But it's okay. I have a lot of patience for myself. I don't crucify myself if I don't get it right the first time. If I don't get it right the 10th time, the 50th time, it's okay. But I learned in that compassion slip, empathy slip, I learned more. I learned more about another person, and I learned more about me, and now I can choose what to integrate about that person and about me within my mindset to be able to get a better me out of the one I was a few moments ago, which is not going to happen the next moment, probably a day later or something. But the moment the transcending happens, the rapture happens, and then the resurrection comes. And like I said, it doesn't mean once you're resurrecting, it's not going to, you don't have to transcend the next resurrection again. We are ever evolving. Vibrations are forever changing. We go through, our body gets older, so things slow down for us. There are expectations we have of ourselves that we cannot fulfill anymore. So we've got to change our mindset and honor where we are at the moment. Transcending the expectation of ourself to resurrect into our acceptance that we are getting older. I'm talking about the older generation now because I'm kind of there. So it's a process I had to go through. I am competing with me. I'm embracing me. I'm understanding me. I see me. So if I can see me, I can see you. Because I'm nurturing my core. I'm nurturing the love. I'm not applauding every Tom, Dick, and Harry anymore. I'm measuring me against my value that I held yesterday for myself to the value I hold for myself today. I'm transcending measuring myself against somebody else's value and the value they hold for me. I'm transcending that by measuring myself against my own value that I did not have for myself to the value that I have for myself today. I transcended that, so I've resurrected. I had the rapture. You know that aha moment? I think that's a rapture. Where else do you think you can put a rapture to? Physically, I'm not talking about death and the resurrection of the physical body. What else do they call a rapture? After that rapture, how do you feel? The lower chakras are involved in that. But in any case, what I'm trying to say is rapture has a feeling. It's always a good feeling after a rapture. It's always an enlightened feeling. It's always a light feeling. It's always a good feeling after a rapture. Because that's the intention of a rapture. From the heavy, the dark, the need, the desire, to the transcending of that, why I didn't come to the good feeling, is the rapture. So now I'm resurrected in that mindset. And I had to become my best friend. I had to become my best partner. I had to become my best king and my best queen. Because I went out to go and work, so I was the king, to provide. But I was a nurturer when I came into the house. Therefore, I became my best partner. I didn't have to override the king to become the queen, and I didn't have to override the queen to become the king. Because I'm saying the male in me that had to go out and work and supply and provide for my family, to the nurturer in me, the mother that had to come home and take care of everything in the house and make the food and take care of the kids. I became a queen in that, but I also became a king as a provider. So I wear both crowns gracefully now. I receive now, because now I've become more, not more of the queen, but I'm now allowing my feminine side to receive. So I've resurrected that part of I'm not allowed to receive. If it's going to serve me and it's going to serve you, then I receive. And the receiving can be so many things. It can be physical, it can be financial, it can be spiritual, it can be emotional, it can be psychological. You're walking somewhere and somebody comes past you and they offer you a lift and they're saying they're going straight but you are going left, and they are prepared to go left to take you where you need to be. That is receiving. You can accept it. The me of yesterday would have said, no, 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 it's fine. I cannot let you go out of your way. But I'm burning in the scorching sun, which is not serving me. It's hurting me. And yeah, I can be sitting in a car, which I'm protected from the sun. It is simple little things that we say no to, that we are taking away the joy of somebody else of being able to give us. So acceptance when we receive is a mindset I also resurrected from, because I don't know, but I am a very self-sustaining person. I don't ask for help, but I understood I had to ask Spirit, Divine Source, God, my angels and ancestors. I had to ask everybody for help when I was down in my darkest, deepest, most vulnerable self. And that is what I understood the resurrection was. When I came out of the darkness, I realized Jesus came out of the darkness, because hell, that place is hell. And I think subconsciously we all know that changing a mindset is hell, because now you're fighting the part that wants to be resurrected, the new. Because remember, you have to know differently to want to embrace the difference, but you have been so comfortable in the darkness. That is when the hell happens, is when you fight. Knowing the difference and wanting the difference. And this is, what are they going to think of me? How are they going to treat me? Are they going to reject me? Are they going to love me? Are they going to hate me? It's possible. Can happen. It did happen. But it was worth it. Because if I'm going to stay there, I'm going to stay in the obligation. And the obligation is the darkness. The hell happens when you start fighting. You don't have a job is not hell. You don't have food to eat. It's not hell. It's a circumstance. It's a situation. Oh God, I went louder. You don't have a boyfriend. You don't have a partner. That's not hell. You don't have a roof over your head. That's not hell. That's a circumstance. It's a situation of some event that happened. Maybe you had control over it. Maybe you didn't. But the choice to choose if you are going to be rejected by people, loved by people, cursed by people, is that all? Who wants to be alone? Nobody wants to be alone. I do. Because I'm not lonely. And that is where we don't understand the difference between that emotional hell and making an emotional hell of a physical so-called hell. My mindset, my perception. But religion brought me to, has nurtured me to understand the physicality of hell, but not the spiritualism of hell. Have I ever been hungry? Of course. But then I compare when I was spiritually hungry, different kind of hell. It's a hell that's up here that affects your heart and your body. The other one, I didn't have anything to eat, affects my body. Duh. Tomorrow I can take it back again. But the one that affects all three of them, your mind, the fear, the anxiety of they don't want me anymore, they're going to reject me, they're going to leave me, they're going to hate me, they're going to do the pain that it goes through, how heartbroken we can get, how we have to pick up those pieces afterwards, and then the body feels it. We don't want to get up anymore. We don't want to go out there. We're too scared to talk to people. We are scared to socialize because they're going to hurt me. They're going to reject me. The new me is not acceptable to anybody. That is how. It affects everything of you. It affects your body, mind. It affects your spirit. But your soul keeps on fighting. Your soul keeps on wanting to embrace and say, it's okay, you're not alone. Hear us, see us, we are here. And that is what people is afraid of. And now it's labeled demonic. But it's not demonic if you're sitting in a church and praising God and praying to God. Then it's not demonic because it's a church, it's a religion. But when you do it on your own, and you are now selective what you godify. I don't know if that's a word, but in any case, I'm not godifying a church. I'm godifying divine source because it's in everything. And now I'm demonic. But I'll hold space for you because in the Bible it says, get the eyes off so that you can see what you need to see. But it's scary. Jeez, it's scary. I don't know how many of you are divorced. How deep was the rabbit hole that we went through before we actually... Mine was 16 years before I divorced. But I knew 16 years I was going to divorce. I only divorced my ex at 16 years of marriage. It was a 16-year-long rabbit hole without enlightenment, without awareness of spirituality, without knowing the difference, because I was taught to turn the other cheek, to forgive, regardless of how many times. But it never told me I'm not a tree. That when I turned the other cheek, I could see the vast openness of possibilities out there other than this abuse. I can forgive and love from there. I don't have to be here and suffer the pain of it. But in any case, my battery is going to go. Um, I hope you got the understanding of what I was saying, what the resurrection is after the transcending. It's the new mindset from the old mindset. But I love you guys. Love yourself at the level that you want to be loved. Have patience with yourself. It takes a lot of patience. I'm still practicing my patience and my peace. I'm not perfect. I'm still going over and over. But I'm going to say goodbye. My battery's going to go. Until the next one. Bye.